Hey guys, and welcome to this tutorial. This tutorial is a follow-up tutorial on the fire and water projectile tutorial, this one. So please do this one before. And now we will do with this fire and water projectiles dynamic material which reacts. And now I show you how this looks like. So if you apply fire to this, the material starts to burn and starts to fade in this fire material, and you see it will stop now, but if I make more it will turn really black. So yeah, that's it with the fire. And of course it also reacts with water, so if I now get water over it, constantly stops to burn. So now it's also wet. So, and it's not uh, only with this shape. You can also apply this to bigger textures or bigger static meshes. So yeah, let's get started. The first thing we will do is just open the elements project from the last video. So we will continue with this one. The first thing I want to remove the line traces, or the color of the line traces. So let's get trace fire, and for all these line traces, go here to draw debug and make none for all of them. I will pause here. Next thing, grab out of the video description the download link for the material folder and extract it here like this. Yeah, and then open up the Epic Games Launcher and grab your project and open up the content folder. So here we have the project folder, and inside the content, and again do it exactly like I do. So this only works if you make this folder directly into the content folder, no subfolders, directly here. So pull this in here like this, then just restart your project. So let's get the element, and here we go. So you should have here now the folder and material, and yeah, these materials come all from the content example from Epic, so I just picked them up and showed you how to get them into your project. But it will take too much time to actually make all these effects and this material, so I just show you how you can use the from Epic. So if you want to know how it works a bit, this is the dynamic material, or the material instance. So yeah, this no material instance, sorry, forgot this. It's a normal material. So here is magic. We have here the base color, and all this does is it masks between flames, so like you can see here, and between the base color. So we have here some scalar parameters like burntness, which adds the alpha to this mask. So yeah, it adds the flames to the base color. Yeah, that's basically all. So to get this to work, we need actually a new blueprint. So which is an actor. So I call this a sphere actor. So we will do one sphere first. Let's grab it. Oh, let's better create our own. So get Blender. Delete here everything and just press Shift A and add a UV sphere. And yeah, let's use this one. So export FBX to desktop. If you don't have Blender and don't want to download, just use the normal cube here. So it will work with the cube also. So let's grab here our Untitled and just import this one. Yeah, there we go. So here you can just use the cube if you don't want the sphere or don't have Blender. So I use this, it's a bit big, let's make this 0.2. Save and compile. And let's see, block all dynamic is okay. Then we need to add the effects, the particle system. My bad, so like this. And we want them to be part of the base, like this. So let's duplicate this. And let's also attach it to the root. And duplicate this one. And attach it to the root. So like this. This one will be our fire. So get the flames, the new one. Then we have here our smoke. This one will be smoke, of course. And we got here drips for the water. So let's select here the water drips. Like this. Then we want all these to don't be auto activated. So let me show you this. Before we continue with this, let's make this a bit better here. So let's grab the flames. Embers, embers can be out. So why is this here so weird? Okay, I see here we have 0.2 also. Let's make this 1 because so if you want to have this better for your object, you just have to play with those values. So let's make this also 1 and let's see what happens. Yeah, this is big smoke here. And why are the drips at? So I want this all to be 1. Yeah. And then we make this a bit bigger. It's a bit too big, I think. 0.3. Not 0.3, 0.5, like this. And if you're not confident with this or not happy with this place, just grab the fire and make it a bit higher or bring it a bit down like you want. So yeah, I will leave this at this. I think this looks good. Compile and save. So let's now make this sphere a bit better. So for this we need our UV mapping done. So export the wood material here. Yes, we want to overwrite. Then open up Blender. So let's first make this a bit smooth, like this. Next up, we want to delete here our edges. So shift click on it to select both and then delete vertices. Then press shift and alt to get the circle here. And shift alt to get this circle. And let's first grab the top one. Like this. Press E to extrude. Scale is, oh wow, why did I get this one? Adjust. So just want the other ring. So no, not this one. Also not this. Okay, this won't work, so press 7 to get the top and press C to get the circle selection, like this. Then press extrude, scale this a bit down, like this, a bit more, and grab this a bit out here. And let's make the same for the bottom. Press Control 7 on the numpad to get to the bottom. If you don't have a numpad, you can just get here somewhere. Let me look at this view. And then here you have the settings I use. So let's press E again and S for scaling. And let's grab this a bit down here. Yeah, like this. So now we press shift and Alt on the middle here to get this line here. And then we press spacebar and we want to mark the seam like this. So next up, let's bring the UV map here, image editor, and let's apply, go to an object mode again, and let's apply material and texture. And here we open up our TGA that the wood like this, and then we can here use the TGA. So next up, we go back into the edit mode, press A to select everything, press U, then we want the sphere projection like this, and then we want to align, we want to scale to bounce, and here we want to align to object on the direction like this. Yeah, and yeah, that's almost everything. Next thing, we can now close here our holds. So let's grab this one and let's scale this to 0. And let's do the same for the top. Maybe scale this to 0 like this. And yeah, you have a good UV map. So this is just one way. You can go there with any other way if you want. I just go with this. So here we click on the Untitled and we just re-import it. And here on the sphere we want our wood. And yeah, you have this wood material now. So let's maybe make this one a bit bigger. Let's see how this looks now. Yeah, this is better. So yeah. So the next thing, we need to work here with our construction script. So from this one, we want to create dynamic material instance from the mesh. So this is the part where we make this material dynamic. So let's grab this, make this a new variable and call this wood like this. And then we can start to go here to the event. From the event tick, we need the seconds. Then we need a new variable called heat, like this, which will be also on float. And we want to set the heat based on the current heat, and we want to interp this to f interp 2. Where is it? F interp 2 there. From this current to the delta time, which will be our seconds, and interp speed will be the actual wetness will increase the interp speed. So get the wetness and plus float. So based on the wetness, it will be increased like this. So this is our heat. Then we make this next one, which will be burntness. So this burntness also be interp 2, and we want to clamp the values. So between 0 and 1, which will be here. So it goes not over this value. So we get burntness. Our target is the heat. So get float heat plus burntness, which is our target, and the delta seconds again from the delta time. The interp speed will be 0.5 like this. And for the wetness, we set it here. For this one, we want also the interrupt too. And we get the wetness, which is our base current value. And we want to increase this by the delta time by 0.6. So next up, we grab here our wood material and we want to set some scalar parameter values. So here we need to make sure that we get those names here correctly. So here it's burntness, so copy this one and paste it here. The value will be the burntness. So copy this one up, paste this. Here for the next up we have the heat. So search for the heat. Let's get the heat. Should be somewhere here too. There it is. So copy this over. Whoops. Like this. And for the last thing, just grab the wetness. And of course I just write it down because I know that I have the right words. If you changed here the words, you also need to change here the values. So then we want to toggle the effects. So get the smoke effect, set active. Oops, not automatically. We want the normal active, set active this one. And this will be our new active if we have the heat greater than a value you can change here. I will use 0.05 and this one will be our new active. And let's get the fire started. So grab this one, set active. And here we want if the heat is greater or equal 0.25. Then it starts the fire. And for the wetness, copy this over here, paste it in, get the drips. And for this one, we get the wetness, and if this one is greater, greater equal is okay too, 0.3 or 30, like this. And we want this to be active then, like this. So now we have here our check for every second. If you like, you can also make this one only if event hits. So if the sphere get a hit and then he starts this tick. So now at this time it will tick the whole game. So if you have a lot of meshes with this material or with this function, then you probably get some lags. So you want this to only fire if someone hits the mesh, but I will leave it as it is now. So the next thing is we have this blueprint communication here, an interface, which we didn't use last time because we only need this now. So this time we will work with this. So grab this here in, go to class settings, and here we can add interfaces. So this one is called BPI. Compile and save. We can delete this. Then we want an event element damage, which is the one from here. And yeah, from this one we need some logic, a lot of logic. So get the heat. If the heat is greater than 1 and if the incoming water is greater than 0.3 or have here some heat which is greater than 0.3. Or the wetness itself. So let's get the wetness which is greater than 0.3. So here it checks between the current state, if it's heat and gets water, or if it is burned and gets water. So or no, my mistake. So checks between heat and water and heat. So this is the correct explanation. So here again we need an add. Grab this up, make here the or. So here it checks the first thing or the second thing, and from this one we grab the branch. So if this is true, one of these both is true, then we want to spawn an emitter. So this one shows if one of those is true, then the heat is higher than the water, or we get water over the heat, and so there is a smoke effect. So it looks like it's yeah, cooled down. So get the steam here, and we want to get the actor location, and we want to auto destroy this after some time. So if this is then finished, we want to set the heat, and if it's false, we want to set the heat. And after this we want to set the wetness, and here we clamp between two values. So get the clamp and clamp again, connect these and this, and let's get the heat, which is not the correct current value. So we want to add the heat that is coming from the interface. So we make this higher like this, and the max value is 1.5 from the, and here we get the wetness, and we want to add here also the float that is coming from the interface. So grab this one, this goes to wetness, and this there. Yeah, that should be all. So let's try this out. Let's grab here our sphere actor. Oh, and let's actually make this auto activate here false. So don't start with this on. And now let's play. So this is not on. If I shoot, it starts to burn. So if I shoot some more here, press X, now here you see the steam will come. So now if I shoot again with water, yeah, like this, and there we have the drips, so everything is working. And yeah, I just want to show you how you can actually make this with other structures. So if we have, I will now make this or duplicate this one, and if we have here and the viewport, for example, the cube, and we want here the wood material, so make this a bit bigger so I can show you correctly how this is working. So at first it will not work correctly. You will see this now. So if I, or let's wait, it's a bit small, can't see the difference, so make the 3 times bigger. So now you will see it burns, but there's no fire. So the problem is the fire don't dynamically change with the size. So you need to actually make this, yeah, you have to change the values depending on how your mesh is. So get the fire one, and we know we have this 3 times bigger, so let's try this out to make this 3 times bigger. Yeah, but this is not enough, so the smoke needs to have a bit more tweak. Here, yeah, 4 is good, I think. Oh no, for the actual fire. Let's see, 7. So you really have to just test this out. Maybe 9 is okay. So yeah, make this here unlocked, and you can now work with actual, here we want to have 7 maybe, so it not goes here on the sides, but here on this one we want maybe 12, so it's a bit higher. So yeah, this is okay. Maybe here 8 and 8, so it looks, it comes a bit out here. 9 is maybe probably better. Yeah, this is okay. So for the smoke we go with 5, I think. Maybe on the X we can still stuck with 3. And with the drips, yeah, you have to do the same. Let's make them, well, let's make them 3 by 3. So, and we see also that the position of the mesh is a bit weird, so let's make the drips here somewhere. And the fire, maybe we can just grab this up a bit, like this, and then we don't have to make so big size here. We can here stuck with 6 and 6, because if we scale so much we have a less good quality. So maybe it's better to just grab this up. And so now we have here a good looking burn and a good drips here. Yeah, this should work. So yeah, that's the way how you can adjust it to the yeah, object you have. So yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching and bye.